Hey, everybody, what is going on? It is the A and J show. We're not singing it this time just because we haven't put together some weeks. We
Gotta
missed a couple
solidify the
weeks.
lyrics, man.
Yeah, we have to solidify the lyrics and then the jam. But I feel like I need some input from you, a little bit of your creativity next time. We'll
Gotta
start.
bring the copyright lawyers in.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's always a pleasure to rap with you, Andy, and we talk about what do we talk about? We're going to talk about today.
I think it's been something on the docket for a while, right? So like we've been alluding to the fact that we can use your data, share groups data inside of some of the marketing aspects and how to do that, and more specifically, like up inside of Facebook, especially with some of the changes that are going on right now to make sure that people are getting as much reach and
Right.
branding as possible inside of this.
Right. So Andy and I talked about, and we have teased this a few times in our conversation, is most of our clients utilize the data for calling, right? Picking up the phone and actually trying to communicate with a live voice. There's other ways the data does work for, real estate agents or real estate professionals. And this particular, idea or concept is talking about how the data is used, digitally, right? So how do you load it into like the ad network, create the audience or based off of that audience. So talk a little bit about some of the changes with Facebook as we've kind of learned a little bit in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, so Facebook, as always, they're always changing, they're always shifting, and here's what I will say. But before we even go in there, um, guys, if you are an agent and you are not running Facebook ads and you don't understand the platform as it stands right now, guys, hire someone, right?
Yeah.
Like we provide these services, but like I don't care if you use us or someone else. Stay in your lane and let somebody else run this because of all the changes and everything else that Facebook issues. I mean, there's changes like on a weekly basis, right?
Right.
So this came down the pipe. How we used to do it. Let me talk about how we used to do it.
Yeah. Let's talk about how we used to. Yeah.
We used to take your data, which is phenomenal to begin with. We would throw it into Facebook's custom audience to basically be
Yep.
like, hey, listen, these are people that we want to work with, so on and so forth. Obviously, it's a special ad category, so putting that as a housing category, we would run ads specifically to those people to that specific list. But at the same time, what we would be able to do is actually make a lookalike audience from that list over in Facebook. And then off of those ads, we would create basically three additional tiers or three additional levels of lookalike audiences where we were getting seller leads in the dollar signs. Like we were seeing $3 to $4 per seller lead, which was just simply unheard of, right?
Off of the lookalike that you're
Right.
creating from the data that you're loading in.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So now Facebook comes out a couple months ago and they say, hey, listen, we're going to be making these changes. We're sunsetting the
Yeah.
lookalike audience inside of the special ad category. And so
Yeah.
now we're not able to do that. Right. However, because of the quality of data that you guys have, we still saw great results from the seller leads and creating just that custom audience up inside of there. And then the retargeting and or the ads that you can run for those, you can get it down to the point where you're actually running a reach campaign to that custom audience. This is how we do it.
Yeah.
We run a reach campaign to that ad audience, basically. So
Right.
let's say move downs, right? We want to
Right.
target move downs in 18944.
Okay.
We're
Yep.
taking all of that data and a couple other zips, right? All of that data, uploading that as our custom audience up inside of Facebook. We're running a reach ad to get as many people as possible. And then we're retargeting off of that reach ad to now drive the cost down. So we run in the
Right.
reach ad for about 30 days, and
Right.
then we drive the cost down with everything else that we
The
do.
difference is you're not able to create the lookalike, but you're
That's
taking
it.
the data on the input. So I think from a resolution standpoint is maybe you start with a larger audience or you open it
Yeah.
up and then load that into to Facebook because your match rate is going to be less. You're not going to have that like you said, that lookalike, but you're also going to be targeting the people that are on the list that are motivated to sell. And I think the details of why that they're motivated come with multiple factors, right? But a lot of like we talk about with the downsizers is they're motivated to sell because they're getting old, dude.
Mhm.
So their motivation necessarily isn't like, awesome, but their motivation is like, dude, I need to be comfortable in the last, in the fourth quarter here, or the 2 minute warning. If you're, you're talking about
Yeah.
some old folks, but that's really cool too, man, because I think a lot of people are intimidated by, the Facebook ad network, or intimidated by the data, trying something new. And I think the concept of the purpose of this conversation is try something new, man. Like if it's if you're calling the data and you're having success, then like you said, do yourself a favor and create a digital roadmap for the same data,
Yeah.
just a different touch. And I
It
think that's
truly is becoming,
with, or
yeah,
yeah.
and it's becoming omnipresent, right? So basically getting everywhere that you possibly can that your people are going to.
Right.
So it's as Gretzky said, right? Like you skate to where the puck is going.
Right.
So
Right.
you want to then get to where your audience is going, which is Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
Totally. And if anything, it adds credibility when you're making that phone call
Absolutely.
and a direct mail piece. It allows you to establish that credibility, that image right off the bat of like, hey, these guys are a real deal. They're not going to take me for something that that I didn't want.
Yeah.
So that's awesome, man. I love it.
Yeah. So it's always good, man. Again, the digital piece of it, I think is missed a lot. But if you couple that with the phone calls, you're absolutely right. It's
Yeah, and
funny.
and the moral of the story is Facebook or the ad network, the digital ad network is always going to change, but you can take outside data like from the share group and load it into those networks, and then display ads to those same people. So I think that's a pretty cool concept. While Facebook, it does make some changes and makes it frustrating for you, Andy, and some other customers, it is a benefit for someone like us that has really good data that allows you guys to target with minimal cost, I think, with those ads online. So
100%.
very cool stuff, man. It's finally good to get back in the saddle with you again. I think we did a podcast with Sean, and barely got one view, but now JD's back in the system, and we don't need no more Sean Wade. No, I'm just kidding. But it's always a pleasure, man, rapping with you, Andy, and we'll do it again next week, brother.
Absolutely, dude.
All right, much love, man.